Yeah.
I don't know how to do lah.
I can do Sister Chu, don't worry. Oh yes. Yes. Right. Right. So good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everybody. Those of them who are joining from far and wide. Welcome back to another lesson of online Padi reading class. Today is going to be day 27. We started this class in June, 1 month before the Vassa. And here we are almost going to finish Kuddaka part, one whole section of the Kuddaka Nikaya, very interestingly. That means we can move on to the rest of the books, which I have to consider the importance of the works. All right, so let's pay respect to the Buddha 3 times and then we'll get started formally. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. First of all, I want to tell you that you may have seen that post. I was able to put all the past lessons into one blog post. So every time, please make a bookmark to that page. I'm going to add the rest of the classes as we continue. So in one post, you can go through all the text. Videos have been uploaded up until day 16, and videos will be uploaded gradually. You don't have a hurry, rush. But I know that definitely helps everybody to have a quick, recap of what we've been doing. All right. So do we have newcomers today? Yes, we have Narayan and Chand. Okay, Narayan is from Patna. Patna, to my understanding, the place of King Dharmashoka. Interesting, huh? Patna. How about Chand? Chand should be from Alusta or Kada?
No, Kelantan.
Kelantan, okay.
Yeah,
good.
I met Bhante.
Did I meet you there?
Bhante retreat, yeah, in Mattarama.
Oh, good. Great. One of the retreat participants of the KB Metaram retreat last time. Yes, good. All right. So message over here. So today is going to be day 27. We are almost in the middle of the Nidhikaṇḍa Sutta. Let me take you to the text first. Do you sometimes go and do your own reading of the Nidhikaṇḍa Sutta when we do not study this in your leisure time? Maybe or maybe not. Okay. So today's section is connected to the previous stanza actually. So we have to do it with a focus on the previous stanza. Previous stanza explain about what a good person is to do. Dana, a good person will treasure true treasures by practicing dana, practicing morality, practicing meditation, overcoming defilement, so on and so forth. And today the list keeps going. Let's see. So take this as the 7th stanza. Cheti yamhi chat sangheva puggale This is an interesting Pali word. Atithi, atithi, suva, not atithi suva. Puggale, atithi suva. Matari, pitari, chapi. Ato, jettamhi, bhatari. Okay. Chetiyamhi, sanghe va. Puggale, atithi suva. Matari, pitari, chapi. Ato, jettamhi, bhatari. All right. So, what we normally do at the beginning of our class is to, taking some time for reading. And we have 8 groups. Even our newcomer today, Chan, you are also belong to a chanting group. So please take a look of your chanting group, and you may see how people here chant. So I'm going to ask from group 1. Anybody from group 1 who would like to recite or read this stanza 7? Group 1. And group 2. Okay, Kim, please go ahead.
Chetiyamhi cha sangeva. Pugali atiteswava. Matari pitari chapi. Ato jatamhi batari.
All right. Did you say Chetiyamhi or Chetiyamhi?
Chetiyamhi.
Chetiyamhi. Okay, good. Group 3. Someone from group 3. Okay, Jenny, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Chetiyamhi cha sangewa. Puggale atiti suva. Matari pitari chapi. Ato jetamhi bhatari.
Bhatari. Not Bhatari. Bhatari.
Bhatari.
H. Yeah, great.
Thank
And
you.
yes, group 3.
Should be group 4, Bhante.
You are group 3, yeah? So group 4.
Yeah,
Yes, KB on. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Bhante. Group 4.
Yes.
Chetiyamhi cha sangeva. Puggale atiti suva. Matari pitari chapi. Ato jetamhi bhatari.
The second line.
Puggale atiti suva.
Puggale atithi suva. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes, group 5. Yes, Melinda.
Thank you, Bhante. Chetiyamhi cha sangeva. Puggale atiteswava. Matari pitari chapi. Ato jetamhi batari.
I think
Is it
once
okay?
again, I wanted to ask you about this very famous, very popular Pali word, Chetiyamhi cha. This Pali word, sang.
Sanghe.
Sanghe.
Wow.
Because there are 2 Pali words that go similarly. Sangeva, Sangheva. Sangheva, Sangheva. Because I want to make sure whether you reading Sangheva or Sangheva. And people say,
Okay.
we are offering dana to Sangha or Sangha.
Okay.
Would you like to go again?
Okay. Chetiyamhi cha sangeva. Puggale. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Bhante.
Sangheva. Now, what is the other meaning of when you say Sangha? When probably. Okay, so these 2 words look similar, right? I mean, you don't see a big difference other than this H. So this is Sangha, community. But this is Sangha. Sangha means, what is Sangha? Huh?
Attaching,
Yeah.
attachment or clinging.
Bond, attachment, right? Clinging, you could say a proper word for that. I mean, upadana. Clinging would be much better be given in upadana. I would say a bond. I would say an impediment to our spiritual life. Anyway, so these two words have to be pronounced differently. All right. And then group 6. Anybody? Group 6. All right. Nobody's there for group 6. Okay, group 7. Yeah, Shelly. Yes.
Bhante, thank you for the Zoom meeting.
Yes.
I try our Chetiyampi Sasanghiwa Pugale Ati Sisuwa. Sorry. Pugale Ati Sisuwa Matari Utari Sapi Atu Sekampi Hatari.
Bhatari.
Hatari.
Bhatari.
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 Thank you, Bhante.
All right. Group 8. Christine, yes. Yeah, Christine, go ahead. I think Christine.
Sorry. Okay.
Oh,
Chetiyamhi che sangewa pugale atiti suwa matari pitari chapi ato chetamhi bahtari.
Yeah, great. Now I'm giving the opportunity to others who would like to read. Anybody? Yes. And start from Indra. It's Indra.
Thank you, Bhante. Chetiyam hi cha sanghewa Pugale Atithisu va Matari Pitari Chapi Ato Jatam hi Bhatari.
Yeah, great. And then Oi.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante. Chetiyamhi cha samgewa Pugale Atiti suwa Matari Pitari Chapi Ato Jetamhi Bhatari.
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 Bhatari. Mhm.
Bhatari.
Yeah, great. And then CHR.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Chetiyamhi cha sanghewa Pugale Atitisuwa
Atithi.
Atitisu wa correct. Pungale Atitisuwa
Yes, correct.
Matari Petari Chapi Atau Jetamhi Bahtari.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and then Corina.
Okay, Bhante, thank you.
Yes.
Chetiyamhi che sanghewa Pugale atihisuwa Matari pitari chapi Ato jatamhi bahtari.
Right, great. And then Serene.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Chetiyamhi che sanghewa Pugale atitisuwa Matari pitari chapi Ato jetamhi bahtari.
Yes. Right, great. And the young is.
Okay, like that, right? Chetiyamhi che sanghewa Pugale
atitisuwa matari pitari chapi atto chitam hi bahtari.
Right, great.
Thank
And Rashmi?
Mandavi Bhante.
Yes.
Chetiyampi cha sanghe va puggale atitisu va matari pitari chapi atho chetam vi bhatari.
Bhatari, yeah.
Bhatari.
Yes, Bhatari. Okay, good. Annie? Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Chetiyam hicha sangeva puggale atitisuva matari pitari chapi ato jitamhi batari.
Right, great. And we have
Thank you,
I Chen.
Bhante.
Yes.
Thank you, Bhante. Chetiyam hicha sangeva puggale atitisuva matari pitari chapi atho chetam hi bhatari.
Bhatari, yeah.
Bhatari.
Good.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes, great. And then we have Po Chuang.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Chetiyam hicha sangeva puggale atitisuva matari pitari chapi atto chetam hi bhatari.
Yeah, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. Who else would like to read? How about our new face today? Chan, would you like to read?
Yes.
Yes, give it a try. Yes.
Chetiyam hi cha sangeva puggale atiti suva matari pitari chapi atto chetam hi bhatari.
You have already mastered some reading. Good. Good. Yes. Anybody else? Yes, Jupen.
Chetiyam hicha sangeva puggale atitisuva matari pitari chapi atto jitamhi bhatari.
Ato Jetamhi
Bhatari.
Bhatari. Yeah, great.
Bhante.
Yes. All right, I think that's all for stanza 7. And we're going to be doing the next one now. Right. Stanza number 8. Eso nidhi sunihito ajayo anugamiko pahaya gamani yesu etam adaya gacchati. Eso nidhi sunihito ajayo anugamiko pahaya gamani yesu etam adaya gacchati. All right. Can I be asking from group 1 then? Yes,
Nobody.
anybody from
Bhante,
group 1?
I try, Bhante. Any?
Yes, sir.
Eso nidhi sunihito ajayo anugamiko pahaya gamani yesu etang adaya gacchati.
All right, and then group 2. Yes, Kim.
Eso nidhi sunihito ajayo anugamiko pahaya gamani yesu itam adaya gacchati.
Great.
Thank you.
And then group 3.
Bhante, can I try?
I think Jenny
Jenny?
wanted to read. Jenny, would you like Corina to read and then
Yeah,
later
yeah,
take?
it's okay. Corina can
Okay,
take over.
good, good. Corina.
Oh, Jenny. Oh, me?
Yes.
Okay. Eso niti sunihito ayeyo anugamiko.
Not Ayayo.
Ajeyo.
Ajayo.
Ajeyo anugamiko. Pahaya gamani Yesu etam adaya gachati.
Great. Group 4, it's Kebion.
Thank you, Bhante. Eso nidi sunihito. Ajeyo anuga miko. Pahaya kamani Yesu. Etang adaya gachati.
Great.
Thank you.
Group 5. It's Melinda. Good.
Thank you, Bhante. Eso nidi sunihito ajeyo anugamiko. Pahaya gamani Yesu etam adaya gachati. Thank you. Thank
And
you.
group 6. Anyone from group 6? Group 7. And group 8. Yes. Who is from group 8? Is it yeah, Shelly?
Sorry, Bhante, may I try?
Yes.
Eso niti sunihito ajeyo anugamiko. Pahaya gamani Yesu etam adaya gachati.
Gotcha. Okay, great. Now I'm giving the opportunity to others who would like to read.
Can I try, Bhante?
Yes, Rashmi. Yes.
Okay. Eso nidi. You two here?
Oh, you should. Yes. Yeah, I didn't see your hand. Yes. Okay, go ahead, please.
Eso nidi sandi. Sorry, ayan.
Eso nidhi.
Eso nidi sunihito ajayo anugamiko. Pahaya gamani Yesu etam adaya gachanti.
Etang adaya gachati.
Etam adaya gachati.
Gachati. The reason is that here it is talking about one man, one person. It has to be then in the singular form. But otherwise, gachanti also okay if it is for everybody. Yes. All right, then we'll be asking from Rashmi. Yes, Rashmi.
Yes. Eso nidhi sunidhito ajeyo anugamiko. Pahaya gamani Yesu etang adaya gachati.
Great. And Yom?
Bhante, I try.
Yes.
So sorry. Okay. Eso nidi sunihito ajeyo anugamiko bahaya gamani Yesu ataya gachati.
Could you repeat the last line, please?
Okay. Etang ataya
Are you pronouncing ataya or adaya?
Ataya.
Adaya.
Ataya. Etang ataya gachati.
Great.
Okay, thank
And
you.
then Indra.
Thank you, Bhante. Eso nidhi sunihito ajayo anugamiko. Ohaya gamani Yesu etang adaya gachati.
Right. And Toy.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Eso nidi sunihito ajeyo anugamiko pahaya gamani Yesu etang adaya gachati.
Great.
Thank you.
And then Jenny.
Thank you, Bhante. Eso nidi sunihito ajeyo anugamiko pahaya gamani Yesu etang adaya gachati.
Great. And then 9 Cheng.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Eso nidi sunihito ajeyo anugamiko pahaya gama ni Yesu etang adaya gachati.
Great. And Pochuwong. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Eso nidi sunihito ajeyo anugamiko pahaya gamani Yesu etang adaya gachati.
Great. And then Serene.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Eso nidi sunihito ajeyo anugamiko pahaya gama ni Yesu etam adaya gachati.
Great. And then
Thank you,
Sim.
Bhante.
Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Eso nidi sunihito ajeyo anugamiko pahaya gamani Yesu etam adaya gachati.
Great. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Yes, Chan, go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Eso nidi sunihito ajeyo anugamiko pahaya gamani Yesu etang adaya gachati.
Okay, great. Yes. Right. Anybody else? CHR. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I can't on my camera. The line not stable.
That's okay. You can just read. Yes.
I join. Okay. Eso nidi sunihito ajeyo anugamiko pahaya gamani Yesu etang adaya gachati. Etang
Right.
gachati. Okay.
Etang adaya gachati.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. All right. It looks like that's all. And then we are going back to now we are going to learn what these two stanzas talk about. Both, with the text and then the contextual meanings, right? So let's go back. Once again, Nidhikaṇḍa. What does Nidhikaṇḍa mean? Nidhi means hidden treasure. Kanda means a collection of hidden treasures. But we call it from a very contextual meaning, reserve fund. Someone who is trying to save up for his or her future. So Nidhikaṇḍa's larger, bigger purpose of, context is a reserve fund. We could say here, the reserve fund. But the reserve fund has been explained by the Buddha in two ways. Now, previously in the first part of the sutta, Buddha talks about how people, hides their treasures. But then later on, they are carrying a risk of being lost, confiscated, maybe a lot of dangers. And then one or two stanzas before, we learned that if somebody really wants to hide one's own treasures, one has to more focus on the spiritual side. Generosity, morality, mental cultivation, so on and so forth. And today it is an extension of that particular teaching of Buddha about how to truly, treasure up the save up the treasures. Now here, this part, section 7, as you see, it is connected to the previous one. Similar, the same person is doing the same. You can see the variety of good things that somebody can do to hide. I wouldn't say hide, save up spiritual treasures. Now here, it talks about one very interesting area, Chaitiyam. What does Chaitiyam means? Now, probably we're going to go back to our previous stanza. Let's go from here. New link. November 23rd. Yasadanena silena sangamena damena cha nidhi sunihito oti itya pusasva. A man, a woman, or a man is going to give dana. I mean, generally speaking, becoming generous and virtuous, restrained, and practicing self-control, and thereby that particular man, I would say woman or male, is going to create these savings, right? They are not digital savings, huh? The money has become digital now, but these treasures are actually what you call karmas, sanskaras, huh? Sankharas. Now, the following stanza is this, the one that we are doing now. Chaitiyam hicha sangeva puggale atithisuva matari pitari chapi atu jettami batari. So how is this part connected to the previous one? Mostly by the context of giving, dana. That means, what's going on here? Okay, giving part. Giving part has to bring down to these areas. Chaitiyam hicha sangheva. What can someone do to a chaitya? What does chaitya mean? Let me ask you. Chaitya. Have you ever seen a chaitya?
Yeah, shrine, pagoda.
Pagoda. It's a pagoda. You must have worshipped, even circumambulated many pagodas, stupas, everywhere in the world. Do you respect chaityas when you chant? I mean, when you chant morning and evening? How do you respect the chaityas? Tell me.
Vandami Chetya.
Vandami chaitiyang sabbang sabbatani supatitita. What does it mean? I pay respect to the chaityas sabbatani supatitita. That are, or that have been established everywhere in the, in Buddhism we don't say world, everywhere in the universe, right? Because there are many stupas everywhere in the universe. So, what does chaitya mean? Did the Buddha ask people to make chaitya? Was there the chaitya at the time of the Buddha? But anyways, here what you have to understand is someone can maybe build a chaitya, pagoda, using one's own money, or one can go to the chaitya and then offer flowers and whatever the offerings, in the place where you can offer. When you go to a chaitya, have you ever offered some certain offerings in front of the chaitya? You may have, right? How do we understand the concept of chaitya? Now, remember, the Buddha spent one of his vasas in a very famous chaitya at that time. What was it? It was a city called Alavi. In this city called Alavi, there was a chaitya called Aggalava. Maybe I can, probably I'm going to send it to you through the chat. There was a very famous chaitya at the time of the Buddha. It is called Aggalava chaitya. Right? Aggalava chaitya. What is Aggalava chaitya? Now, Aggalava chaitya is a place where someone can meet when someone goes from Savatthi to the Rajagaha. Now, I'm talking from the Buddha's time. So it is said that when the Buddha goes from Savatthi to Rajagaha, let's say from Jetavanarama to the Veluvanarama, Rajagaha to Savatthi to the Rajagaha, the Buddha has to pass what you call two cities, two main cities. The first city that the Buddha is meeting on the way is Kitagiri. What was it? Maybe I'm going to draw it here. If this is Savatthi, and then if this is what you call Rajagaha, then there are two cities that Buddha has to pass. This is called Kitagiri. This is called Alavi. This is how he's reaching to Rajagaha. Approximate, what you call distance is 30 yojanas. What is a yojana here? It is said, now in today's world, they are having different ideas about it, you know. 1 mile is equal to 4 gavas, and 4 gavas are equal to 1 yojana. So 30 such yojanas. All right, these are not very important information, but I just want to tell you, you know, how things work. So here, Alavi, the city called Alavi, is a place somebody has to pass on the way from Savatthi to Rajagaha. Now, the Buddha spent one of his vassas in this city. Which year of vassa was that? How many years he spent as the Buddha? How many vassas did he spend?
65.
Huh?
45 years.
45 years, right? He spent 45 years of vassa, right? Then the 16th year of the vassa, that means he should have been, I would say, 35, 45, 51.
46.
46. No, the 16th one. 16th vassa. He became the Buddha when he was 35.
51 years.
He was 51 years old. That vassa he spent in this pagoda, in the pagoda area called Aggalava Pagoda, Aggalava Chaitya. Right? So that means even before the Buddha's time, the practice of Chaitya was existing. Right? That means respecting a pagoda was a very famous, very popular practice. That is what I want to tell you. Then somebody might ask, whose relics were inside in that pagoda? Now, when you say pagoda, usually monks are going to tell you there are relics inside the pagoda. I remember that one monk ran into a big issue, like next to me in Edmonton, one very small child asking, there was a relic exhibition. And then the small one, the little one didn't know what this is all about. Everybody is saying, somebody's relics are being exhibited here, you know, somebody, and the elderly devotees, they are respecting. And then he asked from the monk, whose relics are these? So now nobody knows. Nobody knows, right? Said somebody who has been an enlightened one, could be. His relics could be the ones that we are exhibiting here. Anyways, so that means relics of somebody, relics of a previous enlightened one. Right? Now, remember the story of Bahya Daruchiriya. In this story, what happened was Bahya Daruchiriya was a man who sailed to another, country in a sea voyage, and then his ship met some issues, and then the ship was shipwrecked, and at the same time he had to swim back to a shore, and then he started wearing some clothing made from the wood, and then he showed to other people that he is an arahant. Do we have arahants like that in today's world? That I'm an arahant and you have to listen to me? He was that kind of an arahant. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who is an arahant. We only have textual evidences and only an experiential perception about who an arahant is. So then one of the mothers in his past life showed up and then told him, my son, in a previous life, you should not cheat on people. You have to go see the Buddha, who is at the moment was here and there, and then learn the true way to become an arahant. And then he went to see the Buddha, but then the Buddha did not give any Dhamma teachings to him. He asked from the Buddha, can you teach me some Dhamma? He did not give a Dhamma talk to him. He asked few times. But then the Buddha was looking back, and then he saw that the same day evening, this man is going to die. This Bahya Daruchari is going to die. That is why he is trying to, learn something from. And then the Buddha gave a very simple and concise Dhamma teaching. When you see something, just think it is mere seeing. It is something that you merely seeing it. When you hear something, treat that it is just a sound, just a hearing only. Do not try to seek different things about that particular sound. In this way, he gave a very short Dhamma teaching to him. On the way back, Buddha found out he passed away. And then, because he passed away seemingly as a layperson, Buddha wanted to tell monks, because monks, you have to cremate this person and then make a pagoda and then enshrine his relics. He is an arahant. That means he suggested that others can make a pagoda by putting relics, putting the ashes of an arahant, right? So the concept of pagoda is as such. And there are many events happen about Chaitiyas. Now, Chaitya means heap, piling up, building up something, right? So that's something I don't want to go more into this Chaitya concept, but understand that respecting a Chaitya is an offering, is a good activity, is a way you can make treasures, right? That is something that I wanted to share with you at this point. And a lot of people have been doing that, right? Now, where do we learn about the pilgrimage to India? Where did the Buddha talk about that? You have to come and see my places. Where do we find those information in the canon? How many of you have been to India so far? 1, 2, 3. Oh, many. How did you decide that I want to go to India? Was it a pleasure joy ride, or was it something that you decided this should be something that I knew from the Buddha? Somewhere in the text, where did the Buddha talk about it?
Bhante, is it Mahaparinibbana Sutta?
Second part of the Mahaparinibbana Sutta. Now, this has some issues, The second part of the Mahaparinibbana Sutta says how the Buddha's body was cremated, which of course the Buddha had not given those teachings, right? Later on, monks have added how was the relics spread out to other places, Of course, other monks must have made that part. It's Mahaparinibbana Sutta, the Digha Nikaya. But in this sutta, including the second part, somewhere in the second part, it says, a faithful, trustworthy Kulaputta person, a devotee, should see 4 places. One is
4 places.
My birthplace. Second is the place I became the Buddha. Third place, the place I
enlightened. Enlightened.
Parinibbana.
Kusinara.
And the 4th place is the place I pass away. Right? So this is where we learn it. Right now, of course, there are a lot of pagodas about it. Now in Sri Lanka, there are a lot of pagodas. Thailand, everywhere. Anyway, so this is a very good thing if you want to practice respecting pagodas, and you create a lot of treasures. Then, Cheti Ampita at a shrine or with the Sangha. Definitely, this is about Dana once again. And then you can also be generous toward Puggale or Atithizwa. Atithizwa. Puggale means you can be generous to other people. Right? You can be generous to everybody. We don't need to have a relationship to become generous, right? Tell me how differently can you be generous?
When somebody's in need, just give a helping hand.
A helping hand.
And give a smile,
Give a
comforting
smile.
words, comforting
Yes.
words.
What kind of a
Just
smile is that? A good smile, good
Yeah.
helping smile. Right? A good smile. I mean, you're actually helping somebody, probably early in the morning. Sometimes you might make somebody's day, you know. So, who is the person from whom that we learn about this compassionate thinking about being generous and doing all these good things? It is
From Buddha.
Samma Sambuddha. Let me tell you one very interesting story attaching to the Chaitya. Now, when the Buddha was living, probably mostly near the Aggalava Chaitya, maybe his Vassa, there was something happen about the kingdom. Now, Alavi had a king. We call him King of Alava. Now, this is not the Alavaka Yakka, okay? You know the Alavaka Yakka. So one day when he went for hunting, he somehow rested near a tree. The Vessavana, the lord of all the Yakkas, has given the permission to this particular Alavaka Yakka to eat up anybody who is coming to the shade of his tree. Now the king was under his shade of the tree. So he said, I'm going to eat you. Then the king said, no, please give me a chance. When I go back to my kingdom, I will send you one human every day. Right? So he went back. Ever since, he started sending one human to the Alavaka Yakka. Now, this is the king of Alavaka. He started sending all the humans for 12 years. 1 to 12 years every day, he's sending one human to maybe a man or a woman to eat. So that it is said that the Alavaka Yakka eats all these humans. It is said in the commentaries that when the man is coming near him, then the body of the human becomes so soft like butter, making the body to be suitable for the yakka to eat. And then what happened? After 12 or 13 years, there were no humans to be sent to the yakka. The only human other than the guard of the king and the king was the son of the king. He's also, we call him Alavaka Kumar. And then what happened? The Buddha saw this. Tomorrow, this son is to be dispatched to the Alavaka, and then he's going to eat the son. So I have to be compassionate. So he thought I would go there before the son is going to be sent to him. What kind of a compassion is that? I mean, now we are always thinking about clearing the mind, emptying the mind or filling the mind, right? This is our nature. But in order for us to clear the mind, empty the mind or fill the mind, we should have an enormous level of compassion. Now, you will understand more about his compassion when you hear the final, area of the story. Then what happened when he went to the Yakka Alavaka's palace? He was away from the palace. He was in a meeting in the Vessavana's area. We call it Alakamanda. Alakamanda is the Yakka's headquarters, all in the northern area of the continents, according to Buddhism. And then 2 more Yakkas, Satagira, Hemavata, were actually going, over the palace, and they could not fly because the Buddha was there. They actually went back and they respected, and then let Yakka Alavaka know that the Buddha has come to your palace. So we could not fly over your palace, That area was prohibited for us. And he was very mad about it. And then he came back and then started, throwing his very famous weapon called Dusavada. It did not work. And then he started doing all the bad things. And then, in the Alavaka Sutta, he asked the Buddha to go out, come back, go out, come back, go out, come back for 3 times. And then Buddha did that for 3 times. The 4th time he said, no, I'm not going to go out. Do something you can. He said, then I'm going to make him tired by asking some questions that nobody could answer me in my generations. Right? And these questions were given in the Alavaka Sutta, if you can remember. Kinsu the Vittang Purisassa Settang. Kinsu Sutinno Sukama Vahati. Kinsu have sadhu taranga sana. Katanghu jiving jivitamahu settang. Now, first question was, Kinsu the Vittang Purisassa Settang. What is the greatest treasure that a man or human can earn? Then the Buddha said, Saddhi the Vittang Purisassa Settang. Saddha. If you have Saddha, that is the highest treasure one can. What is Saddha? Trust. If you are in a relationship, trust. If you lose the trust, your relationship does not. If you are a Buddhist, you must have Saddha. Even you practice any of the generosity, meditation, sila, but if you don't have trust, you are not practicing well. Saddha is very important. And then finally what happened, the Buddha answered properly to Alavaka, King Yakka Alavaka. He became a Sotapan. That ferocious, terrible guy became a Sotapan. You might think he must have done his own work in the pre. Now, this is the very bad excuse that some people make. He must have done his work in the past life. It's a slave excuse. Maybe or maybe not. That means anybody can become a Sotapan. Whether you are an intellectual, whether you are a poor person, maybe you are not that intellectual, you can become a Sotapan. So you will become a Sotapan not by reading a lot. Maybe you have to read a lot. Maybe you don't have to read a lot. It depends on the character. But because of how you perceive this whole internal and external world through the Four Noble Truths. So the Yakka could understand that previously he was going to attack the Buddha. Finally, he ended up with becoming a Sutta. Now, the next day morning, now the son of the king was sent to the Yakka's palace. He was very embarrassed to say anything about it. Then he gave the son back to the Buddha, right? And then he was a Sotapan. Now just imagine, what did the Buddha do? Buddha was very compassionate toward 2 people. One is initially to the son of the king Alavaka and to the Yakka. That is why I always reiterate, compassion is the sole answer to many things. Without compassion, no wisdom will arise. But compassion does not mean that you are only thoughtful about the nature situation. You are going to act on those things. And then with compassion, you are going to definitely make the wisdom happen in your life. So this story tells us how important is the compassion, right? So when we are practicing generosity, we should keep in mind that generosity should be done to everybody, right? Maybe a smile, maybe a sharing of your knowledge, maybe any other way of being supportive to somebody in a good way, right? Ethical way, not in an unethical way, right? Our generosity has to be ethical. Okay, now this person could be a man or woman who is now worshipping what you call maybe cleaning the Chaitya or offering to the Chaitya, and now here offering the Sangha and offering maybe being generous to other people. Not even that. Atithi suva. Who is Atithi? A-T-T. Who is
Guest.
Atithi? A guest.
Guess. It's a guess.
Yes. It is said in many suttas. Even an enemy comes to your house, never ever chase the enemy out of your house. You have to, because enemy is also a guest. I hope that enemies are not coming to your house. In case enemies to come to your house, just give him or her a good meal. The Buddha said. Atithi. Atithi means a guest. Now, in the Pattakamma Sutta, right? Pattakamma Sutta, Buddha talks about 5 things that every person should do. 5 things. One of the things of out of those 5 is Atithi Bali. That means treat the guest when they come over to your house. One is paying taxes. One is giving good karmas to the departed one. One is giving good karmas to the devas. Right? So there are 5 things. If you can read the Pattakamma Sutta, maybe I'm going to write it here. Additional reading. Pattakamma Sutta. Yeah, should be somewhere here. Yeah, Pattakamma Sutta. Anguttara Nikaya 4.61. Give it a read when you can see, because we are here. So we can see those things here. You can see here. Furthermore, with his or her legitimate wealth, he or she makes 5 offerings. Relatives, we call Nyati Bali. Guest, Atithi Bali. Ancestors, Pubbapeta Bali. King, we could say Raja Bali, when tax deities means. Devata Bali, 5 Balis. All right, fitting deeds. Right, give it a look in 4.61. All right, so Atithi Swa, that means taking care of the guest. And then Matari Pitari Chapi, taking care of the mother and father. Why taking care of the mother and father were treated as such a very generous act in Buddhism? Can somebody tell me why is it? Is it because of a gratitude check? Because we were born out of them. It is why we have to do as such. It has a larger, broader meaning.
They are Brahmas. Parents are Brahmas.
Yeah, they are treated as Brahmas and the first teachers and all that. But why parents going to become a big deal in our spiritual practice? It's a big deal. Why is it?
Gratitude. We cannot pay whatever we do. We are unable to pay them by gratitude.
We cannot pay or we can pay?
Unable to pay.
What is the word that we are using when you have a mortgage? You're going to pay off, right? Pay off.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that means you have nothing with the mortgage and you pay off. You can pay off what your mother and father have done to you, according to Buddha. But it is difficult. Let me tell you, there's a sutta called Suppatikara Sutta. In this sutta, I will show you later. In this sutta, Buddha says, there are, even if someone, anybody of us, takes mother to one shoulder, takes father onto another shoulder, and even if we do not put them on the floor, bring them on the floor, we are going to serve them, giving food, giving everything, but we are not placing them back on the floor. They are on our shoulders for 100 years. You might be treating them well with the food, everything, but whatever they have done will not be repaid by you by giving food like that, taking care of them. But there is a way how you can prepare. If your mother is not into Saddha, and you're going to put your mother into Saddha. If your mother is not practicing Sila, at least 5%, but you are teaching your mother, father, guiding mother, my mom and dad, it's very important to practice Sila if you can, in a good way, friendly way, and they start practicing Sila. And if your mother and father are not generous people, they are very greedy people, very stingy, greedy people. And you are trying to tell them, teach them, maybe help them understand the importance of dana, not even to the Sangha. Be generous. Give away things you have to other people, and at times offer dana in the temple, maybe elsewhere. And if they can change with that motivation from you. And if your mother and father are very unwise, do not believe karma and karma vipaka, this life and next life. And if you can establish them in the panya, in terms of karma and all that, then you can repay 100% for the things that they have done. This is what the Buddha says. We will see the sutta after this. Now, the interesting thing is that most of our mothers and fathers have some amount of saddha, some amount of sila, some amount of changa, some amount of panya. It's not going to work. Right? They already have some level of saddha, sila, changa, panya. That means the gratitude, as we understand here, cannot be repaid. Why is it important? This is on one hand of the things that we have been received from them. On the other hand, the Buddha always says, mother and father is a punya ketta. First, the Buddha says, what you call Buddha, and then the Sangha, and third, the Buddha says, Mata Pita. Mother and father is a punya ketta. I always encourage people to think about when you want to offer. When you want to think about the Sangha, you have to make offering to your father, mother first. There are some children who are spending tons of money onto the temples, but they don't take care of their parents. The Buddha says they must start from this. It's a punya ketta, field of merit. Now, in the Sangha Vandana, Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Jupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Yadidan Chattari Purusayugani, Atta Purisa Pugala, is Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Ahuniyo, Pahuniyo, Dakiniyo, Anjali Karno, Anuttarang Punya Ketang, unparalleled field of merit. Now the Buddha says, mother, father is also an unparalleled field of merit. Why is it? Now, if you want to offer dana nowadays, you have to go and book a data. Can you offer dana whenever you want? Unless you are in a remote place. In a city area, you cannot do that. You have to probably look for a date. Maybe you have to make an appointment. But what about mother and father? They are at your home. So I know there may be some issues. Some children may have some issues with their parents. But still, whatever the problems they have with you, you have with them. Try not to forget about this area because it's a part of our practice. Now, not only as a part of the gratitude, now let me connect this to the Noble Eightfold Path. In the Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha says, Sammaditthi. In the Sammaditthi, the Buddha says, there are 10 things that everybody has to practice. Out of those 10, two out of those 10 are related to the mother and father. How did the Buddha say? Atti Mata, Atti Pita. My mom is a special person, my father is a special person. That means believing as such gives us Sammaditthi. Why? I appreciate the help that they may have done for me. Right? Anyways, so mother and father. Now the very interesting thing coming up now, not even the mother and father. You can see that. Chaitya, Sangha, Puggala, guest, mother, father. What is this? Chettam hi bhatari. Also, you can be generous or take care of somebody else in your family. Bhatari. Who is Bhatari? Brother. Jettam hi
Elder.
brother.
Elder.
Why not elder sister? Why only elder brother? Tell me. Why Jetta Bhatari? Why not Jetta Bagini?
Bagini married,
back
got
here.
the husband to take care.
Jettam hi Bhatari. Yes, Sumita, what did you say?
The sisters normally they are married off. They will have the husband's family to take care, whereas the brothers are the sons are the one that has to take care of the parents. So it's good to take care of the elders.
Yeah, we can
support them.
imagine certain things. Now, we cannot expect this from a single married bracket. Now, mostly what I understand is the society was male dominated. It's a male dominant society. So Buddha cannot present his teachings beyond that, assumption, the notion of society. So anyways, if you look at your family, let's say you have an elder brother in your family, the eldest brother maybe, right? Maybe elder brother, maybe elder sister. Now we have to bring that too, right? So that means just because you are happy, you are spending a good life, it doesn't mean that you are a good person. That means you have to support others in the best way, right? You have to be careful. Now there are some issues that might come up when you help out others, especially in your family circles. But helping out your family people is a very good thing. It is part of the. It is one of the ways you can create treasures here. But worshipping the Chaityas, offering Sangha, then being generous toward individuals, anybody, and then guest, being generous to guest, then taking care of mother and father, and then taking care of the, I would say, family siblings in today's world, right? Because this was given at the time of the Buddha. So these are the ways you can think about this particular Itya or Purisa, woman or man, by which this person is going to practice the giving part, dana part. And then in addition to those, sila, sanyama, dhamma, right? Then he or she is going to create lots of nidhi. Nidhi means spiritual treasures. Make sense? Any question before we move on to the next stanza? Yes, Shali.
Bhante, can you repeat one more time for the sutta about how to repay our parents and about the samadhi and freedom?
Are you asking me to tell the name of the sutta about the 5 offerings?
Well, no, for how to our gratitude for parents.
Okay. Sorry about that. You took a note about it. It's good. It's good that you remind. Let's go to find the sutta. Suppatikara. Suppatikara sutta. Suppatikara. Did you find it? I don't think I could find here. In case if I cannot find, I'm going to look that for you and then send to all of you. But you'll see again. Suppatikara. Call it Suppatikara. Oh, here somebody is quoting the name of the sutta, but all right. Yeah, maybe I'm going to, yes, I will take a look at the proper place. We can see that, on and off. I'm going to send to you, all of you, posting that under the WhatsApp group. Suppatikara Sutta, right? I have to find the proper place. All right, let's go to the next stanza. Okay. Eso nidhi sunihito ajayo anugamiko pahaya gamaniyesu etangada. I got you. Now, this stanza talks about how important is to create this kind of treasure. Now, the kind of the treasure that the Buddha talks about means be generous towards all these people, practice sila, practice self-control, practice what you call restraint. So whenever you are being as such and you are creating sankharas, good sankharas, spiritual vipakas, and then this kind of saving treasures is further explained in different, I would say, by nature. I would say, especially the nature of those kind of treasures given here. Eso nidhi sunihito. Those savings are well stored up. They are sunihito. That means other treasures are not well stored up, right? Why is it? They can be risky. They can be taken away by kings. They can be taken away by other people. They are having a lot of issues. That is why this kind of treasure is well stored. Then, ajeyo anugami. Let's talk about this. Ajeyo. What is jeyo? Then ajeyo. Jeyo.
Invisible. Invisible, is it?
Jeyo. What is jeyo?
Visible.
Defeatable. Huh? That means somebody can be victorious. Somebody can beat in a competition. Sometimes when people are in a competition, they can defeat the other person using his or her skills and all that. But when you have these treasures, nobody can beat you. Right? Nobody can beat you physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Yeah. Ajeyo, that means ajeyo. Jeyo means can defeat, but ajeyo means invincible or undefeatable. Anugamiko. Anugamiko means the nature of the treasures. Anugamika means they are coming after you. Actually, the Buddha is trying to show people how you can make your treasures to come after you till you attain Nibbana. Now let me ask you, do we need good karmas to live comfortably?
Yes, we need good karma.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, is it necessary for us to have done good karmas in past life? Now we are trying to be good now, as much as we could. Go to the temple, offer dana, help out the other people, do katina and all that. But it is in this life, right? This is not the only life that we spend. So where did the Buddha talk about it? That it is important for us to have done good karmas in past life. It is very important if somebody had done good karmas in past life. Can you think about the place?
Bhante, is it Mangala Sutta?
It is primarily given in the Mangala Sutta. How did the Buddha say that?
Pubecha kata punyata.
Ubbecha kata punyata. That means, ubbe means previous life, kata punyata means having done the good karmas in past life. Now, if you look at some people, right, and other people, their life, how they have been spending life, maybe happiness, unhappiness, right? They all have a linkage to the previous lives. But we are not depending on the previous lives only. But definitely, if somebody has done good karmas, had done good karmas in past life, that is very important. That is why here, anugamika means all the good karmas are coming after us. Mostly, unless you're going to neutralize some of the bad karmas. Then anugamika means treasures are coming up. Now, normally, are those treasures coming after us? Let's say you make a big, what you call hole, maybe a pit, you're going to put all whatever you have in that. Are they coming after you? After you pass away? Maybe your money in the bank account, maybe things you may have done if you are such a person at that time. They are not coming after. They are already done. But if you make some good karmas out of those money and the wealth, at least you're going to make a will. You're going to make a will with that money? Who is going to use that? You're making some terms and conditions for the will. And then definitely you are, even after 100 years of your passing away, you are still getting good karma. People are thinking about you. Because of this gentleman, because of this lady, we have been able to do good karmas. We have been able to practice Dhamma. We have been able to read these books. We have been able to practice meditation. Okay? And in one Sanskrit stanza, I don't want to mention that properly, it says that the person who is creating the stanza says, he is really sorry about the people who have been greedy about the stuff. Because the generous person understands this upfront. Because of that, the generous person is giving away everything. Because he or she is creating the next life till he attain Nibbana. But the greedy person is only keeping the stuff around. And then once he passes away, he has nothing. He's not bringing anything out. He's not carrying anything out. But the generous person knows well ahead of that time. Okay, I have to do all the good things. This money I'm not bringing. These wealth I'm not bringing into next life. Right? In that understanding, he or she is trying to be generous from each thing that he or she owns. Anugamika becomes as such that they are following after you in the form of good karmas. Okay, Pahaya, this is what happens. Pahaya gamani yesu. Pahaya means, this is a very interesting word. Pahaya.
Having left or given up.
Leaving. We have to leave this life one day. Are we supposed to leave this life one day? Yes.
Yes.
We have to leave this life. Is it a very fortunate thing or unfortunate thing? It depends on how you have given
how
the
you
meaning.
see
it. It is how you have given the meaning to that particular wording. So it is not an unpleasant thing that we are going to leave this life one day. But if somebody is creating the most out of this life in understanding the true Dhamma, especially by setting an example to one's life, doing all this, definitely that leaving is not going to be a big deal to that person. Now, normally when somebody passes away, other people are worried mostly about the disadvantage or damage that is happening to them after they leave. How am I going to leave? How am I going to live now? You are leaving, and how am I going to live now? Right? So leaving is going to happen. Even the Buddha left. Right? So when we are leaving one day permanently in this life, gamani yesu. So we have, but our sansaric journey is continuing, right? But we are leaving from this life. Then etan adaya gacchati. That wise person who is generous, who is generous, danena to Chetiya, Sangha, Puggala, Atiti, Matari, Pitari, I would say Batari or Bakini. This particular person creating an enormous amount of good karmas. Although that person is going to leave this life, that person is carrying bunch of things, from all the treasures he or she made in this life. In a way, this could be a very wise plan. It is a wise planning, right? If people are not wise enough, what they are doing, they are trying to save up only regarding this life, right? Till they die. Right? So now in short, what we need to understand is that a very good way to understand how we are going to live this life, whether we are carrying good karmas forward or whether we are just messed up in this life. So these two things have to be understood with the Nidhikaṇḍa Sutta's this part, right? All right. Any questions about today, or maybe we can ask. We can even go to the Nidhikaṇḍa Sutta's, full idea about the good karmas.
Bhante, could you explain the meaning of Gamani Yesu? Because when I find the dictionary, the meaning doesn't tie back to the sentence here.
What is the Pali word?
Gamani Yesu.
Gamani. Gamana means going. Going means passing away. Now here Gamana is not just going. Now when you check, that's why when you look up a dictionary gives bunch of meanings.
Yeah.
So how do we know the Gamana in that particular word in that particular sutta? We have to read that sutta, Alpha to Omega properly, and with other suttas. Now here Gamana means leaving, going. Now going from this life. Gamana.
Okay. So in this context, it's meaning passing away.
Passing away. Contextually passing away. Literally going. Now when you question about somebody question, what is Gamana here? Gamana means going from, not from my house, from this life, then leaving. That means I am dying.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Gamana means dying, contextual.
Bhante, can we also say that this verse 7 and 8, that our karmas are our legacy, bad or good karmas?
Yeah. Remember that sutta about karma? What is that sutta? Kamma dayadu, kamma yoni, kamma bandhu. It says, my only inheritance is my karma of all of us. And my only relative is also my karma. I may have relatives everywhere. You may have. But my real relative, true relative is my karma. My true inheritance also my karma. Right? So it is true. It's in a sutta. I would say kamma yoni, kamma bandhu, kamma patisarana. Yeah. And it is also the last help, forlorn help. But keep in mind, a lot of people, they misunderstand the two parts of karma. What are the two areas of karma? I think we should discuss that too. Let's go to the screen. I'm going to show you. Now, karma. Karma means, where is karma? Where is karma now? This is karma, right? We are talking, you are listening to me, your intentions are very good now. This is karma. That means you are creating karma. Then a lot of people, they are referring to something with this term, but it is not karma. We call it vipaka. They are vipaka. Now, when the Buddha talks about the previous karmas, we have to call them as vipakas. Pubbhecha kata punyata means vipakas. Now in Abhidhamma it says, you might have seen some people have no issues to be moody, but they suddenly become moody, you know. They are very sulky, they don't talk to you. It's not as a part of this life. Abhidhamma, it says, it is one of the, vipaka chittas, resultant consciousness. It appears because of a past karma. In a past life, this person may have done something wrong. Because of that, this person's consciousness suddenly becomes moody. I'm not going to talk about Abhidhamma, that's too much. But there are some interesting things from karma and vipaka. Vipaka means everything we have been doing in the past, but karma is only what we do now. You cannot call whatever you've done in the past as karma. How do you call them? Vipakas. They are your vipakas. Now you are bringing them as vipakas. Now what you're doing is karma. Karma vipaka. Any questions?
Okay. Yes,
Yes.
Bhante, may I ask?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. You mentioned about karma, so that is to say is the present moment. I mean the present life. Vipaka is previous.
Vipaka is the fruit of the karma, the
Yes.
benefits of the karma. We call them vipaka.
Yes. So the vipaka, the previous karma is actually the energy as well as the experience from the past life. Can I say that? Is that how it's translated to?
Vipaka is the previous, what is it?
Energy,
Previous?
energy and experiences from your past life that which you bring over to this
Yeah, you can name it in that way. It's okay.
Ah,
You can
oh.
say it's an energy. Yes, when you had that energy when you are creating karmas, right? That energy entails emotions and everything.
Yes.
But now you treat them as vipakas.
Hmm.
They are not anymore karmas. They are vipakas. But when you look at the whole thing, you might think that all these are karmas. But now we are experiencing vipakas. But understanding my own vipakas at this moment, let me create another karma also, secondary karma also. But they are karmas. Now what we are doing is karma. They are vipakas because they are fruits of my karma. This is like hetu pacha regarding the parisamuppada, hetu and pacha. So now if you look at parisamuppada, the hetu cause is my karma, the fruit is the vipaka.
Thank you, Bhante. Understand. Yes, thank you.
Bhante, I just want to mention this, that when Bhante mentioned about stanza 7, the city of Alavi, there was a famous man called Hataka.
Yes,
Hataka,
yes.
with very good virtues, and Buddha said about him.
That is another
Something like
man.
that.
Another
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
Another
okay.
story. Yes. The king
Oh,
of
not
the
with this.
Alavaka, yeah, king of the Alavaka and his son, Alavaka Yakka, they are two. King of Alavaka is one man, one story. Alavaka Yakka is another story. Hattaka is another story. Yes. Some people say this Hattaka means that son, but it's not proved actually. That particular son who was supposed to be eaten by the Alavaka Yakka. But maybe a different one too. All right, any more questions about today? Today we've been discussing about dana in terms of treasures. Yeah, pretty much karma and vipaka. Okay, looks like no. So if you have a question, please let me know by sending me a message, and I'm going to send you the real true name of the sutta and the link to see that sutta. You can repay for the service which mother, father done to you, but it is impossible. You can. The Buddha says, actually one person did that. Who was it? One person repaid that in the stories in Buddhism. Who repaid his mother? Moggallana, Arahant Moggallana repaid for the mother and father? I don't think so. He had to succumb to the death as a vipaka. Arahant Sariputta. What happened? What happened with Arahant Sariputta? Arahant Sariputta passed away before the Buddha. He said to the Buddha, Bhante, I would like to go to my mother's house and then I pass away in my mother's, because he had a plan in his mind. What was the plan? Mother was unfaithful. She didn't have enough saddha. She was a Hindu person. So when the Arahant Sariputta went to the house of the mother, that night, different people came to see him off. Different, what do you call those spiritual devas came to see him off. One of the person who came was Mahabrahma. Actually, Arahant Sariputta let her see him. And then in mother's Hindu religion, Mahabrahma is the highest deva. The highest deva of my religion came to respect my son. What is this? And then she came to understand my son has reached up to a certain spiritual level that even my even my teacher of my religion has never been able. So I had to admit that, and she became a Buddhist person. I think she became a Sotapanna as well. I think she became a Sotapanna. We call her Rupasari, Mother Rupasari. So then Arahant Sariputta was able to convince the mother that you need to establish yourself into the Dhamma, and then he repaid whatever the mother did for him, right? That is one very good example of seeing how somebody, especially Arhan Sariputta, repaid. And also, you shouldn't be very worried about your relationships, because even Arhan Sariputta's mother was a Hindu person till he passes away, right? So if he couldn't do that earlier, that means, things like that can happen. Okay. All right. Now we're going to wind this up by sharing. May all the good karmas which we have been accumulating today be transferred to all the departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of us. If the departed ones were reborn in a place of pain, dugati, kama dugati, may they be able to release from the kama dugati, painful states, realms, especially the Peta world. If they are already in a good realm where they are enjoying their life, may they be able to pay more attention to Dhamma and finally practice and understand Dhamma and then become enlightened. May they be able to, may all the departed ones be able to attain the supreme bliss of Him. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me jnati nang hotu sukita hontu jnatayo. Idam me jnati nang hotu sukita hontu jnatayo. Idam me jnati nang hotu sukita hontu jnatayo. May all the good karmas be shared by all the devas, nagas, and Maidikas. May they be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of you, your family members, for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety, and all the good things in your life, in their life. May Devanaga Mahtika also finally attain the supreme bliss of me. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavatacha ammihi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbi deva anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammihi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammihi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Akasattha cha bhummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu lokasasanam. Akasattha cha bhummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu desanam. Akasattha cha bhummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu mang paranti chirang rakkantu tvang sadati. Also, we usually make a wish at the end of every ceremony, every good karma. The good wish is about to be with the Kalyana Mitras. Kalyana Mitras do help us in maintaining, deepening our Dhamma practice. Self-motivation for Dhamma is not enough. So we need Kalyana Mitras. To reflect that, we're going to make this wish. Maybe be able to be in the company of Kalyana Mitras and not the Papa Mitras. Imina punya kammina mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yavanimbana pantiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today, by learning another section from the Nidhikaṇḍa Sutta about the true treasures in our life, be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I'm going to bless you now. Please receive the blessings. Abhivadana silissa nichang vaddha pachayinu chattaru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvannu balam ayurarugya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha Apu Nibbana Sampatti Iminati Saminjatu Sadhu. Sadhu. Okay, so with that, our online part reading class for today is over. So I'm wishing you a good night and take care. We'll see you then next Thursday.
Thank you very much, Bhante. Sadhu,
Thank
sadhu,
you.
sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante, and everyone. Sadhu,
Next
sadhu,
Thursday,
sadhu.
I will be in Malaysia too.
Yeah.
See,
Have
thank
a
you.
safe and
See,
pleasant trip,
sadhu,
Bhante.
sadhu.
Good night. Take
Safe
care.
journey to
Thank
Malaysia,
you.
Sadhu,
Bhante.
sadhu,
Let's see
sadhu.
Bhante again. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhante.
Bhante.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Yes.
sadhu. Welcome back to Malaysia.
Forward.
Take care.
Yes.
Okay. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Good night. Good night. Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Bye bye. Take care.
Yes, take care.
Bhante, where will you be when you first return?
BMB.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Sister Chu, how are you?
Muted. You too. On your mic. You don't know how to on. Bhante,
Okay,
need
well, I don't know
Yes.
where am I now. Okay, Bhante.
How are you doing?
Yeah. Okay, fine, good.
Oh, good. You've been
Just came
traveling a
back.
lot, huh? You've been
Yeah,
traveling.
came back from Burma last night.
Oh.
We went for offering Katina robes
Oh,
to quite a number of monasteries. Yeah.
great. And then
In Yangon, in Bagan, Mandalay, yeah, quite a number of monasteries.
are you went alone or you went with a group of people?
No, it's a group. Led by Brother Lim from Sumeru Buddhist Society.
Oh, Sumeru. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Great.
Bhante, you'll be visiting, right? Your next visit here. Sister, you too.
Yeah, I will arrange for Bhante to visit.
Yeah, Sumeru.
Bhante,
Yes.
yeah, Sumeru, yes. You should. I'll make arrangement, Bhante, when you're free. Okay?
Yes. And
take you there.
Kim is leaving next week, huh? So you might be not with us next Thursday.
Yeah, I won't be.
Going to India, right?
Monday.
Monday.
I'll see you when I get back.
Yes, wishing you a very fruitful India trip, Nepal trip.
Thank you.
Yes,
Then I go to Sumeru with Sister Yuchu. I bring you along.
Yeah, wait for you to come back.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
we go
good night,
together.
everyone.
Okay, good night.
Okay, take
Bhante,
care.
good night. Good night.
Bye,
Good night.
Bhante.
Good night.
Deviwan Saranai.
Good night.